Honourable Senators, I'm pleased today to speak to the revised Senate Audit and Oversight Charter, which is presented to this chamber in the third report of the Standing Committee on Audit and Oversight. The revised charter before you today is a result of a thorough review carried out by the Audit and Oversight Committee, the first review to take place since the Senate first adopted the charter in 2022. Audit and Oversight's work is in accordance with the charter itself, which mandates a periodic review of the document. As part of its review, its committee received and carefully considered feedback from the three major divisions of the Senate administration, the legislative, corporate, and legal sectors. Audit and Oversight's revisions to the charter add some clarity and transparency to the work of the committee, and some of the revisions are simply editorial in nature. For example, some of the text has been simplified in order to remove duplications with the rules. One notable change relates to Audit and Oversight's reporting obligations to the Senate, which are clarified in Section 6.5. By adding that, the committee will be able to table information in the Senate on the approved multi-year risk-based internal audit plan, including planned engagements and any resource limitations. This revision shows Audit and Oversight's commitment to transparency. Other changes proposed by the Audit and Oversight also claim to add clarity. I will outline some of these changes. The Audit and Oversight CEBA membership restrictions outlined in Chapter 2 were expanded to add that senators cannot be members of Audit and Oversight and CEBA committees simultaneously. This change is in keeping with the sessional order that was adopted by this chamber on June 4, 2025. Recognizing that CEBA does sometimes create working groups, the charter was revised to specify that AOVS CB membership restrictions do not apply to CEBA working groups. Chapter 5 on Audit and Oversight's budget was revised to ensure that the text accurately reflects current practices. I'd like to reassure colleagues that the edits in this section do not change anything with regard to Audit and Oversight's budgetary processes. Rather, this section now clearly reflects established practices. The revisions differentiate between the budget allocated annually to Audit and Oversight in the estimates on the one hand, and the budget process that Oversight must follow when requesting any additional funds on the other hand. Again, I wish to stress that AOVS must still present a report to the Senate for the Senate's decision when asking for additional funds on top of Audit and Oversight's allocated budget. This requirement remains unchanged. Section 6.6 provides that Audit and Oversight will have access to information from the Senate administration that falls within the purview of the committee's mandate, as set out in the rules. Additionally, Section 6.12 relates to access to information for the Senate's Chief Audit Executive, which highlights the need to respect parliamentary privilege and solicitor-client privilege, and the need to adhere to security clearance requirements. Revisions were made to the sections pertaining to Audit and Oversight's intercessional authority. The edits clarify the intercessional authority's membership and quorum. For instance, an edit now specifies that external members who were members of the committee at the time or prorogation or dissolution remain members of the intercessional authority, notwithstanding the expiry of their term of appointment. Finally, the section on the periodic review was revised to enable a review to take place every 5 years rather than every 3 years. Increasing the length of time between reviews is more reflective of the amount of work involved in conducting such a review. Audit and Oversight's third report also contains two other requests. Firstly, Audit and Oversight requests this chamber's authorization to propose amendments to Section 305 of the Senate administrative rules. If the revised charter is adopted, Audit and Oversight believes that the section on Audit and Oversight's budgets within the SARS should also reflect current practices and should therefore align with the budgetary provisions within the revised charter. Secondly, Audit and Oversight requests this chamber's authorization to propose an amendment to the rules of the Senate to incorporate an automatic referral of work by Audit and Oversight in past sessions and by past intercessional authorities to the Audit and Oversight in a new session. This request is not linked to anything in the Charter itself. Rather, Audit and Oversight would like to propose such a rule change in order to ensure that Audit and Oversight can carry out its responsibilities without any delays upon the start of a new session. Before ending my remarks, I wish to emphasize the following. The rules of the Senate retain their precedence over anything contained within this charter. The changes proposed by Audit and Oversight seek to add clarity and enhance transparency. Audit and Oversight's revisions, if adopted, would ensure that the charter accurately reflects current practices and would make the charter as effective as a document as it possibly can. To conclude, I would like to draw my colleagues' attention to an edit made to Section 1.4, emphasize Audit and Oversight's role in sustaining Canada's trust in the Senate. An effective and accurate charter will help Audit and Oversight fulfill this important role. I therefore ask for my colleagues' support in adopting Audit and Oversight's third report. Thank you.